Yeah, as a younger investor, we still have to learn that we should be patient and that knowing as well prices go down. Happened to me too often that I bought actually a stock too expensive
Yeah.
just for like knowing, yeah, it might go up still more, but I just want to be in there already.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make sense. You
Well,
just have
one
to
of the
wait.
best things I ever saw, and I'll keep this real brief, but back in 1987 when I was brand new to the business, I'm 22 years old, right? One of the best presentations I ever saw, and I still use it every once in a while with clients, is if you take a look at a long-term chart of the stock market, right? 50, 70, 80 years of performance. They said it's like watching somebody walking up a hill bouncing a yo-yo, right? It says like the yo-yo is the year-to-year volatility, but if you look at the long-term trend of the market, it's actually relatively stable. And they said, if you want to be a long-term successful investor, watch the hill, not the yo-yo, right? You just got to pay attention to what that long-term trend is. And then if you're going to watch the yo-yo at all, watch it so that when it's in a downturn, you can buy low.
Do clients actually come to you with ideas as well? Let's say, I know right now it's quite famous that MicroStrategy is a company that buys a lot of Bitcoin. And then on top of that, they develop new financial products. So they have, for example, their Stretch product, which pays you 11.5% dividend. I think they announced that a few days ago. Is that something, I mean, because still it's Bitcoin based and it's based on a company giving out these dividends, that's actually high risk. But do clients come to you with such ideas, and how do you react to it? Allow it for them to say, okay, let's put this in your portfolio if you want it, or what's your
Yeah.
opinion on such things?
Yeah. So a couple of things there. One is in the United States, the regulatory environment around allowing those kind of investments in portfolios is much more restrictive. So a couple things. So most of my clients, right? I've got two other certified financial planners that work with me. I told you I just turned 60. I have a financial planner who's 52. I have another certified financial planner who's 41. They tend to have younger clients than I do. Most of my clients come to me when they're in their late 40s, early mid 50s. They're trying to figure out if they can retire successfully. And then once they retire, they tend to stay clients of mine throughout the rest of their life. So I have a lot of clients the bulk of my clients are 55 to 85 years old. So most of them are not coming to me with, hey, I want to buy Bitcoin or some alternative high risk asset. They're just trying to figure out how do I create the income I need and minimize risk. Now, some of our younger clients who are, let's say, in their mid to late 30s, early mid 40s, who are still firmly on that accumulation phase of life, they tend to be the ones that come to us more with those types of ideas. And if it's a product that the regulatory environment allows us to use, then we're willing to do it if they sign off that it's their idea, that they understand the risk associated to it. And then we'll try to size it in the portfolio. It's a weird dynamic, right? You want to size the position so that if it does well, it actually makes a positive difference in the portfolio, but you don't want it so large that if it doesn't do well, they get hurt in the process. So, usually somewhere between 2 and 5% of a portfolio. You don't want to be risking too much on something like that. But you want to risk enough that if it does well, it actually, makes a big positive impact for you. I'll give you a great example. I had never bought gold in client portfolios ever, right? And there's lots of reasons why. It doesn't pay a dividend, there's no earnings, it's hard to value and so forth. Based on what was accumulating in government debts and based on global debt around the world. If you take a look at the debt of Europe, of the United States, of Japan, of China, and so forth, based on the fact that central banks who were nervous about holding too many dollars were starting to buy more gold. November of 2019, we bought a 3% position in gold in our client portfolios when gold was 1470 an ounce. And today gold's, just under $5,000 an ounce. That's a position that we took that we had never done before. It was an alternative position. but it really has helped our client portfolios. And we didn't take a 10% position in it, but we didn't take a 1% position. We took a position that was meaningful enough that it would do what we wanted it to do if gold moved.